Look, I'd hate to say we're getting bored of it because it's always great to see a market going up, unless, of course, you're trying to get it back into the market at these levels. What did you make of the session?
Another great session for the market, and really a little bit of deja vu from yesterday's session. Some good volumes going through, another gain, and once again it was the large end of town which outperformed. If we have a look at the market, it was up by 0.3%. We've seen the market gaining every single day this week so far, and that's despite CBA and Telstra going ex-dividend on Monday, and BHP shares falling after its result today. So a really good effort by the Australian market, but once again it was the large end of town which did well. If we have a look at the mid-cap index, it was flat today, and the small-cap index really dragged down by Breville's result. It was down by 0.7%. Volumes were good. On Monday we saw around about more than $8 billion worth of stock being traded. Yesterday we saw around about $5 billion worth of stock being traded, and today we saw about $5.2 billion worth of stock being traded. So it's been a while since we've seen such strong volumes, so good to see the volumes holding up and also improving. Once again, if we have a look at the sectors, information technology was doing well, and no surprise that computer share rose by around about 2.6%. And that's because the market's been doing well, volumes have been picking up. So those companies which are related to market volume do seem to be seeing a bit of a pickup. Also in terms of sectors, we saw the banking stocks doing well, financial stocks doing well, property stocks doing well, as well as the consumer staples. On the flip side though, it was the growth areas of our market which really suffered today. The energy and the materials, the industrial sectors, these all finished in the red. And of course, earnings season, some massive performances. Seek reaching an all-time record high, up by 8%. Toll Holdings was up by almost 4% after its result. Woodside Petroleum up by just over 3%. And on the downside as well, after results, Breville down more than 20% in one session. We also saw some other stocks slumping. Seven West Media was one in focus that was down by around about 7%. But altogether, another good day for the market. A whole heap of earnings coming out, and it was a busy one through income.
Then BHP Billiton. Shares in the end closing down just shy of 1%, albeit a fair degree of weakness across that sector. What did you make of, we'll get to the succession planning and so forth, but what did you make of the result itself?
I think if we have a look at BHP, it was quite a strong result coming through, and it was in line with expectations. So the fact that the stock price was down by 0.9% I think was a pretty good result for BHP Billiton in the end, and that's because the lead from offshore wasn't so crash hot. We did see commodities coming under a fair bit of pressure. Copper was down by 0.8% in London, it was down by 2.3% in New York, and there has been some concern in the commodities market that we could see China putting some more curbs on property investments to cool down the property market. So we did see Rio Tinto, for example, falling more than 1%. So the fact that we saw BHP falling by 0.9%, I don't think is a reflection on its result. The result actually coming in line with expectation. The iron ore and the petroleum, I think, slightly ahead of expectations. The diamond business was slightly below. We did see some impairments coming through, some impairments in write-downs for its nickel business as well as its aluminium business flowing through. And also, I guess one of the things we've seen with BHP Billiton is that the market has been quite happy in terms of the reaction to its CEO succession plans. It looks like it's going to be a smooth one. There's not going to be a huge divergence from its current strategy. So altogether, it does look like a pretty safe reaction for BHP's share price. We have a look at the 30-day chart for BHP shares. This is what it looks like. And at the moment, you can see that the shares are range trading, and they've been doing that over the last 3 sessions, so taking a little bit of a break. And when we see big announcements like a new CEO announcement and an earnings announcement as well, usually this is either signals the continuation trend or a reversal of the trend. For BHP Billiton, we haven't seen either of those. Instead, we've seen a bit of a pause. So this is quite an important time for BHP's share price. We're at a key resistance level around that $39 to $40 mark. So I guess the key question for BHP in the next coming sessions is whether we're going to break this trading range on the upside or the downside. We do see a break of the upside, that uptrend that's been in place for BHP Billiton, that would be a continuation signal, but if we do see a break of the downside, that could signal some more weakness to come. And of course, that's important for the Aussie market because it is the biggest stock on the Australian Stock Exchange, about 9.4% of our market.
And look, just while we're talking about BHP Billiton, we're sticking around a little bit later in the show, bringing you our interview with both the outgoing CEO, Marius Kloppers, as well as the incoming CEO Andrew Mackenzie. So stick around for that. Woodside as well reporting today, Julie, a bit of a difference, if you like, in terms of market reaction. They closed up over 3%.
We saw a good result coming through from Woodside, and I think a key here is that we did see quite a big jump in the dividend for Woodside Petroleum. While BHP increased its dividend by 3.6%, we saw Woodside actually increasing its dividend by 18%. Once again, the profit announcement coming in line with expectations. One of the surprises in terms of Woodside's announcement is in terms of the capital expenditure. The capital expenditure plans have increased. It's planning to spend another $1.1 billion on a gas project in Israel, and of course we heard of that acquisition a few months ago. So that's one of the things that we're going to be watching in the coming 12 months very carefully. We have a look at Woodside Petroleum share price. This is a very different scenario, and this is the share price for Woodside Petroleum over the past year. You can see just recently we've just broken a very key resistance level at $36. In the past we've tested this 3 times and failed, but you can see that once we saw a break of that $36 mark, the shares have just rocketed ahead, and today we saw the shares up 3%, finishing just above that $39 mark.